first grade. I'm so happy to be with you today. I'm glad you're joining me. We're going to be doing science and we're going to continue on. So this is the page we're going to be on. It says 11.3. It's going to be page number, oh dear, my page got a little bit cut off, but it's the next page and it has the pictures of a child that has gotten hurt. It says cuts heal. So once again, God has created our body so incredibly. We've talked about how our bones all work together, our joints, our muscles give us strength. And do you know what? Our bodies can help heal itself when we have injuries. So sometimes things happen and you may fall down at home, maybe at school. Maybe you've had to go see Mrs. Lee and she'll clean off a little injury you have and put a Band-Aid on for you. Well, let's go ahead and look at this page together. So this is going to talk about if you get a cut or a scrape, how they heal. Oh, you may have noticed, you're right. I actually have a Band-Aid on my wrist. I was out doing gardening. I love to do that. And I was over by my rose bushes and I was pulling weeds. And guess what? One of those thorns got me. So it's not bad. I'll hold it up. It's just kind of got, you know, a scrape on it. And it happened yesterday. So there isn't blood anymore. But the red part you see is actually a scab that is forming. And that's how our body heals itself. You may see that it's kind of shiny. Well, I put some Neosporin on it to help it heal. So we'll talk about that in just a moment. But the skin is broken and the cut bleeds. So this boy has a cut on his knee. And that's probably happened to you. Sometimes they're just little cuts or scrapes. Sometimes they're a little bit bigger. And the first thing you have to do, the child's mother, is cleaning the cut. And you say, oh, but that hurts, that hurts. Well, sometimes it does hurt a little bit, but it's really important to do that so that when your cut heals, you don't have dirt in it. It heals so much better if you get it all nice and cleaned up. Then the mom is putting a bandage, and the body on its own, your body, will form a scab over the injury. It's important once you have a bandage on to not just leave the same one on for days and days because dirt may have gotten in there. It's important to keep cleaning your injury, your little wound, and putting fresh Band-Aids on, okay? And once the scab has formed, it dries, and it's important to let the scab come off on its own. I know sometimes we're a little tempted to pick at them when they get itchy when they're healing, but that's a sign that your body is healing itself. And once the scab has come off, there is new skin that has formed under the scab. And look it's just like it never happened before. Sometimes when a scab first comes off, it may be a little red underneath your new skin, but eventually that will go away as well. So, like I said, God helped our body in every way to take care of itself. Right here at the bottom is a little square, and we're going to pretend that's a bandage. And what you can do is you can color it and cut it out. You don't have to do that right now after we're done with this session. You can do that on your own. I know sometimes you guys wear Band-Aids that have smile faces or Batman or stars or happy faces, different things like that. So you can decorate the little bandage however you would like to do that. And then you can go ahead and cut it out on the line. If you want it to still be this rectangle shape, that's fine. If you want to cut it into a circle, because some bandages are circles, you can do that. So we'll use it on a different page, but I'll show you about that in just a moment. So right here, we're going to do a quick little review about what we just talked about. We're going to number these pictures in the order that the things happened. So we're going to use 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's look right here. We are going to see what happened at this time. So right here, we see an arm. I'll go over here, and there's a sore on that arm, as you can see. And we need to put the things in the order. So right here, we see a sore, and it's bleeding. So that's when the injury had just taken place. So we're going to put a number 1. A number 1. What is the first thing after we have an injury? You need to clean it and put a Band-Aid on. So we're going to put a number 2 right here. Okay. And then once it has the bandage on, it starts healing and it forms a scab. A scab. So right here, this is number 3. And then once the scab comes off, look, there's just a little faint mark where the sore had been, but that will completely heal. Okay? So you can put a number 4 right there. Down at this part, you can do it after we are done with this class. You can draw an arm or a leg, and then you can add a small cut to it. And you are going to use the bandage that you made over here and that you cut out, the bandage. You're going to go over here and you can put it onto the arm or leg that has a sore on it and cover up the sore with the bandage that you made. So if you have a glue stick with you or scotch tape, something like that, you can just cover up the sore that you made. So I brought a few things just to show you. So when we were talking about cleaning a sore, and sometimes your parents may put something on to heal it, to help the healing. This is Neosporin. It's just a little cream, and you may have had this before. It's kind of almost clear, and you put it on and it helps the sore heal. If your sore needs to be cleaned and disinfected, this is a spray that you put on. It's a clear spray, and it helps the wound, especially if like it's kind of a bigger wound and you maybe it's not just a little tiny scrape, but it might be a little deeper. It's really important that you can use something on it to make sure that you're killing any of the bacteria. So this would be something you sprayed on. You say, oh, it stings, only for a minute, and then it's fine. And then once it's cleaned up and got the bacteria removed, you're ready to put a Band-Aid on. Now, depending on what you're having to cover up, I brought a few Band-Aid samples because there's many kinds. Sometimes if you fall, like if you're out on the hill or the playground at school and you have a big scrape on your knee or elbow, sometimes you need kind of a big Band-Aid. The bigger ones work better on a knee because there's more bandage and it stays on a little better. Also, there's small ones. You know, if you just have a little scrape or cut, sometimes you guys get little paper cuts. We have some Band-Aids that are this size or even a little bit smaller for paper cuts. Sometimes you just have a little dot somewhere and it doesn't want to stop bleeding and you want to get it covered up. So this is just a little tiny circle one. This is for a little tiny sore. So right here in these boxes, you can see there's so many different types. This box comes with all different size bandages in it, little ones, medium, and large. This is the box for that really huge bandage I showed you, and it shows you on the outside. And then this is one that's really a good kind to have if it's on your hands or something. This is the kind I actually have on my wrist. This is a water block one because a lot of times Band-Aids fall off when they get in water. So sometimes if you have them on your fingers, it's really nice to have that kind. So those are some of the Band-Aids that possibly you use. And like I said, it's important to change your Band-Aid. Well, there are other things we can do that help make our body heal rather quickly. And we've talked about a lot of these things already. So we need to have a healthy heart. A heart needs healthy food. You should eat fruit, vegetables, milk, bread, and meat. So I don't know if you noticed, but on my table right here, I have a black piece of paper. And you might have been wondering why I have tortilla chips sitting on that paper. Well, I'm going to show you that right now. We're going to try this. So I placed some tortilla chips. It says potato chips, but they're pretty much the same thing. On a piece of colored paper. I had some black paper. And then you have to wait for an hour and let it set there. So I went ahead and got this ready earlier. So it would be ready for our time today. What do you see on the paper? Now, I'm going to take the chips off and I'm going to hold up the paper and I'll take it closer to the camera and hopefully you'll be able to see this. And we're going to talk about what you're seeing. So hopefully you can tell that the paper has some markings on it. They're darker. It looks like it's wet. It's not really wet. That is oil that has come off of the tortilla chips and it's on the paper. I did that to show you that that is not like one of the most healthiest choices for eating. Yeah, not so much. So that oil is not good to get into your body and your system. It's okay to have a little, a sometimes kind of a treat, but not like a daily thing, okay? So that shows you that you want to be careful and keep your heart healthy. So we're going to look at this path that has many pictures on it and decide if it's a good, healthy choice or if it isn't. So I'm going to come over on this side, and right here is a heart. Right here is a heart, and we want to keep that heart healthy. So let's talk about our options. Right here we have some protein. It's a chicken or a turkey. Would that be a good, healthy thing to eat? Yeah, totally fine. So let's color this square, kind of a red color, and I'll just do kind of fast coloring. Then we have a dairy product right here, which is cheese. Okay, so let's go ahead and color that in. And then we have a wheat bread right here, which would be part of our grains. So that's a good healthy choice. All right, let's keep going this way. And then over here we have an apple. Apples come from our fruit and vegetables. So we can color that one in as well, because that's a good healthy choice for us to make. Next, we have a green salad. That's got veggies. That's very good. All right, good. Well, let's see what here. We have an ice cream cone. That's not the best choice. It's okay for sometimes. Okay. Then we have some fast food. Maybe okay sometimes. Soda, not a very great choice. It's got so much sugar in it. Okay. Let's look over here at some of our other choices. Oh, somebody's out doing some exercising. Oh, that would be an excellent choice to make. So we can definitely color that in. So you can look and see what some of the other choices. What about just not going outside ever, but just sitting in front of the TV all the time? Would that be a good choice? No, it's good to get that heart muscle exercised and strong. Here we have cookies, we have pizza, which has a lot of cheese, and cheese gets kind of greasy, just like our tortilla chips showed us. We have candies. Oh, here's a carton of milk. That would be a very good choice. It helps your bones get strong with the calcium from the milk. And then we also have yogurt, which would be another great choice. So right here, now we've completed the healthy path to a healthy heart. Follow it down this way, right to the heart. We are going to circle 3 pictures that make a healthful meal. You can choose from 3 different food groups, okay? So You may not have exactly the same three, but let's talk about which of the ones are healthy. First of all, we have a green salad. That would be a good choice. What about a glass of milk? Yeah, that would be a good choice. What about a proteins? Yeah, that would be good. How about fruit salad? What about vegetables? Yes. What about this ice cream cone that is 4 scoops of ice cream? Way too much sugar. Way too much. So we won't circle that one. Sometimes a little treat is okay. 4 scoops would be way too much. If you're eating an ice cream cone, 1 scoop would probably be enough. Okay, here we have some turkey. That would be good. Oh, here we have a can of soda. Not such a good choice. No, it's just full of sugar, not good for your body, and really bad for your teeth, too. Remember those sugar bugs we used to talk about? And then here we have some pasta that has pasta sauce. It has some meat on it and some grated cheese. So that would be a good choice as well. So you can just circle 3. Pick 3 that are from different food groups. If you circled all the good choices, that's totally fine. Totally fine. Great job. Now, let's go ahead to the back side. And some of the red markings came through. I kind of forgot about that. Okay. So for a heart to stay healthy, it's really important to exercise your heart to keep it healthy. So here's a checklist, and you can fill it in as you go. And I'll read it to you. These are some things you can do for exercising. So you have a choice when I read you what the activity is. Is that something you do every day? Is it something you do just sometimes? Is that something that you never do? Okay, so walking. I do that almost every day. I live up in the hills. I love going walking. I try to walk fast, and up and down those hills really gets my heart pumping. It feels great. So I go walking pretty much every day. If you just go sometimes, mark that. If you never go, then mark that one. Maybe some of you are doing walks with your family right now to get a little exercise. What about playing a sport? Now, I know right now a lot of you aren't able to play on the teams that you normally do, but maybe you're playing a little baseball in your backyard or kickball, depending on how much room you have. So if you play every day, if you play sometimes, if you play never. So sometimes I shoot baskets with my grandson. He has a basketball hoop in his backyard, and normally if I'm able to go over there, we sometimes shoot baskets. Running. Well, I walk every day. I don't run every day, but I run sometimes. Sometimes. So I'm going to mark. What about moving to music? Oh, that could be fun. Do you do that every day? Do you just do that sometimes? I kind of do it sometimes. Or if that's something you never do, there you go. How about jumping rope? Actually, I should get a jump rope back out. I kind of forgot about doing that. I think Coach sometimes does those on his workouts with you guys. What about riding a bike? Do you pretty much ride a bike every day or just sometimes? I ride sometimes. I don't ride every day, but I have a bike. Oh, guess what? Miss Arnsey has a bike that's pretty incredible. It's called a spin bike. And do you know what? You pedal it, but it doesn't go anywhere. The wheel turns, but you just stay in place. It's made as a piece of exercise gear. And that's one of the things she absolutely loves to do. And she loves to go running in the hills where she lives. Do you play outside every day? Do you play outside sometimes? Or do you never play outside? So it's good to be out. Get the fresh air for your heart. It's good for your body to have some sunshine on it for vitamins. So I play outside sometimes. Okay. Right down here, you're going to complete the sentence. My favorite way to exercise is and you can fill it in. I'm going to put walking, because I walk briskly or pretty fast on the hills. That is absolutely one of my favorite ways to exercise is walking. I take my phone and I have my earbuds and I listen to, I have Audible books, which means someone's reading them to you. I play that while I'm walking, or sometimes it's music, or I have an app where the Bible gets read to me while I go out walking. It's great. I just love it. So go ahead and you can write what your favorite exercise is to do. And you know, even if you just go outside and do a little bit outside, oh, it's always so good for you. So good for you. Well, I hope all of you are doing well, and your family and all of you are just doing well all together. So thanks for joining me today for science.